All right, guys, welcome back to the Carter Show. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson, that 300,000, or I should say $500,000 debate. And as you know, the debate surround who actually did kill Charlie Kirk. Andrew believed that there is overwhelming evidence that it was Tyler who did it, while Candace believed there's not overwhelming evidence, at least what the state has presented. She believes that Tyler might have been set up and might just be a patsy. So there's this big debate. It happened Friday. And we're going to give our take on it. Andrew believes that he did enough and did well. He had some things to say. And my opinion might not be what you agree with, and my opinion might be the same. Who knows? But Candace and Andrew finally sit down for that big debate, right? And after watching it, this is what I came back with. Most people are asking the question, who actually won that debate? But for me, the question is, did Andrew successfully debunk Candace's theory? Because as you might have known, and if you're following this case as I am for a long time, thanks to Candace and some other content creators who are, talking about it, because, I do believe Charlie made a difference in society, and I feel like Charlie would have been someone great contributing to society. However, his life was cut short. As you know, Candace starts doing her own investigation because she believes that the narrative that they're giving us is what she calls Fed slap. It is not accurate. A lot of lies are being told, and it led me to start to believe some of the things that she's saying, because when she can prove herself with these lies and other things that takes place, then it makes me start to wonder. However, this debate sparked because Andrew went on Joe Rogan podcast, and he said he would pay $300,000 to debate Candace because Candace is talking and she doesn't have any evidence to back what she's saying. But what I've learned about Andrew is that he doesn't care if things don't seem okay or normal. He just cares if the evidence says this. And debating like that, most people will agree to some extent to what he's saying, but the narrative that Candace is putting out is not that the evidence is not there or there. She's saying there are things that they're not probing. There are things that took place that shouldn't have happened. And in a normal situation, especially a high-profile case like this, it shouldn't have happened. So those are the things that Candace starts to do investigation. And now Candace do her investigation, she get the public in. She have a hotline where you can send in tips on, and she vets it. And as I said in my previous video, I do believe that Candace is a very honest woman. I believe she stands for what she believes in, and she gives off that. However, I do believe there are some points made by Andrew that, could make Candace make people could see why they're saying, Candace, yeah, you're just a theory, because Andrew also believed that Candace is doing this to make money and clicks and views off Charlie's name. And Candace have words to say about who's actually doing stuff to make name from Charlie. For example, they put up his bloody mic, the mic with his blood all over it. They recreated the murder scene, and my thing is with this debate is that not that Candace won or Andrew won. I felt as if Andrew was sent to ask questions to Candace, more so like it's a interview and not a debate. Because he kept on asking about Erica Kirk, and he kept on pushing about Israel. So I feel as if they were like, you know what, we're not going to sit with Candace, but if we have somebody who can represent us, then we can have them ask a question that would want to ask, or the question that she has no evidence for, but saying these. And I think that's why he pushed on certain things. So we're going to get into that. But there's a lot to be said. You see, when Andrew go with the whole evidence thing, he knows this. Because proving that Candace doesn't have enough evidence prove the theory that he has, that the prosecutors, they have overwhelming evidence, because he said they have the screwdriver that was used to disassemble the weapon and assemble the weapon. They has DNA from the towel that the weapon was wrapped in. They found the weapon that is said to be of Tyler's. And these are the evidence that they are using to say that, listen, the state case is very strong. Candace debates that and says, okay, but when the cop testified, he states that when he went on the rooftop, that's where they took the shot. Also, before I get to that, they also said they have overwhelming video evidence in 4K. But the video they showed to the public is grainy. To be real honest, I can't decipher who is actually in that video. So I think what they put in our brains is they want us to think that, listen, we're saying it is Tyler, so believe it is Tyler. And they show us videos, they show us a lot of things. Now, this debate, Zin, it quickly explained that it only happens because Candace wants to prove something, Andrew wants to prove something. So, let's get into it, as I said earlier. Do you ever wonder why Candace asks all of these questions and no one really wants to answer them, even though they seem and appear as valid? Because the counter offer Candace gave was $500,000 to debate him. But Candace feel as if she was debating the questions that Turning Point USA wanted to ask. And one of the key things that stood out to me was when he asked Candace asked him, can you name one of the charges Tyler been charged for? Andrew couldn't have answered any. He just come up murder. No. Then he tried to flip the script because he has a debating technique that he uses. And he flips the script by stating, you give me. And Candace give him all seven of them. Then he started to make the claim, oh, somebody probably had texted it to you. Candace was like, no, look at my phone. He was like, no. So they gave it to the moderator. The moderator looked at the phone. The moderator saw that there was no text from no one since the debate started. Candace was well prepared for a debate. He was there to debate or ask the questions that Turning Point USA might have wanted answers to, because they know that can you confirm certain things. So the case goes on, the debate goes on, as I said, and listen, I want to discuss the evidence that the state is using, and I want to discuss how Andrew feel about it and why Candace's questions are legit to me after watching and just following the case for some time. The surveillance footages, they said they got surveillance footage. It's a grainy footage, just like the image they put out saying this is Tyler. We couldn't actually say this, right? The rifle that was used, the DNA that's on the rifle, and the alleged message that confess, right? And what else? Candace concerned about the evidence, right? Now, we already talked on the video. Now, Candace got exclusive video of what happened on the top of the building. And we saw a professional crouch that they'll teach us in the military. We do it there. Candace claims that can't be a just regular hit. Tyler is no trained person that, can do that. However, Andrew says that's evidence that they have. The DNA on the rifle, Candace states that, listen, they said that Tyler's prints were the most degraded on the weapon of 5. And these are the reasons why Candace do believe that it is a patsy. I do believe that Tyler might have had something to do with it, because if it not gosso, it near for gosso. That's a saying we use in Jamaica. If it is not that, If it is not like that, then it is close to that. So the answer is, I believe Andrew refused to see these type of questions and more so say, oh, we have a print. For example, the screwdriver, they said that was used. That has, I believe, Tyler's boyfriend fingerprint or DNA. The cop that retrieved that off the top of the lousy building top, he claimed he said as he entered on top of the building, his camera stopped working. Oh, convenient. Mind you, those cameras could last up to 20 hours long or longer. I'm not sure. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe those cameras can go very long. And he was only operating that camera for only 23 minutes. So what made that camera die? You're telling me you had one that wasn't charged and you put it on and you only had, and it just so happened to stop work. So those are the reasons why Candace do not believe. And those are legit reasons. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I don't want to be the person who say, all right, we'll get this person. Because remember, they're trying to give Tyler life. Not life, the death sentence. So for you to give someone a death sentence, you have to 100% sure that this person is guilty. And Lance Twiggs, that's the boyfriend, they don't question him. He could have been the one that set it up. He has access to everything that they're saying. The message that confessed he committed the crime. All right. Lance said that Tyler wrote the letter. He saw it under the keyboard, allegedly. And before burning it, he took a picture of it, I guess to keep it as evidence. I don't know what the reason for. But it was burnt. Candace did a segment where she was talking about Lance Twiggs' handwriting and the handwriting on that letter. And she says it appears as if it's the same. So, I don't know. All right. The question is, in this debate, the reason why I feel like Andrew didn't do a very good job is because a simple question like none of the charges, this man did not know any. I talked about it earlier. But he tried to flip the script. So he's not following the case and he's not as passionate about the case as Candace is. He said he accused Candace of saying Charlie's wife knew about what's going to happen to him in time. So she's a complicit. She is a part of it. Candace defends herself. So my thing is this. Andrew wants to play the game of saying the evidence does not lead him to where Candace is thinking. And I believe if there are corruption, then you can put the evidence to where you want it. And you see how vague he makes his claim, right? Because he's going to say, if the feds or the state or the prosecutors have these evidence, then Tyler is guilty. Or the handwriting. But you don't dig deep into, did he actually wrote that? Can they verify it? Because they now no longer have that writing where they can actually do that test the handwriting, do all of that stuff. They only have a picture. How convenient, the date of the picture and everything that's on that phone, the time and the date, there's a crack on it where you can't see it. And why is it a screenshot of the confession? Not only that caused me to start to think and believe in certain things is because they said the parent turned him in. But they did not tell the context behind him saying he's going to turn himself in, because they told him, if you don't come, then we're going to forcefully come and get you. He doesn't want to get killed. So Candace debated Andrew, and I feel like Candace didn't lose. She more so still come back out with, yo, I'm having questions still. And I don't think Andrew did a very good job debunking Candace. I think he came there with questions that they gave him to push. Because he asked questions and he showed videos and they're about Erica. And when they're supposed to ask him questions, he says the contract doesn't allow them to ask him that. These are the things that I'm saying. And you know what funny? Candace hit him hard because he was punching at her with the whole Erica Kirk thing. And Candace said, yo, when since you become a fan of them or love them? Because last time checked, you said she, Erica Kirk, is stupid and retarded or something like that. Don't quote me on that. But some words in that manner. And when since you have a change of heart? Is it when you had a sit down with them? Is it when you went over there? Because Candace do believe they don't want to have the sit down because they don't want to answer to the hard questions, but they'll send someone with questions so they can, because what he did was like, do you have any evidence of this? Do you have any evidence of that? Do you know if they question Erica Kirk? You said they should question her. Do you know? Candace said, do you know if they question him? He said he don't know either. So what I get from the debate with this man is that he doesn't really care about the questions and how fishy things look. He just care that is there any evidence that's linking this man to or not? And it's fine. You need evidence to convict someone and all of that stuff. But if there's not a thorough job done, a thorough investigation, let me tell you some other things that might have happened that spoke about. And if you're following the case, you'll know. When Charlie got hit at the university, 3 to 4 days after, they paved over it. They get rid of the crime scene. Once a technology exists now where they could take these pictures and they can mimic the exact moment, location and everything. Because they got thousands of pictures put together to formulate that back. The video evidence, when Charlie got hit, someone touched it, Charlie took it down. I don't remember his name at the moment, but is it Ferenz? I don't remember his name. I don't want to damage his name. And a lot of things happened where she said she forgave the killer a couple of days after. Then they probe in the case of trying to make money, trying to do this, trying to do that. And these are the things that bothers Candace. And these are the things that makes her feel as if you are a actual grieving widow, then some of these questions you shouldn't have a problem with me asking. I have the platform. Charlie and I are friends, real good friends. So let me use my platform to give us answers. The FBI is not doing it. There's so many things happening on that day. They're not looking into certain things because they want us to just believe the lone gunman, Tyler, did it. When evidence in Candace's research suggested that there might have been foul play, there might have been other person involved, there might have been even governments. So these are the things why Andrew in the debate will say, but do you have evidence for saying that? Why would I need evidence when the car that traveled with Charlie, they clean it out and they resell it immediately after? Things that should be held in evidence. Guys, I'm in a situation with not me, our family member is in a situation and it's been 9 years now or going on 9 years now and they have evidence still collected that they haven't released because the case is not, is it 9? My bad. I think it's around 5 years. Maybe I'm over exaggerating. But the whole point is they release everything because they said they have the killer. And Candace is not saying he's not able to, but based on what they've presented to us, she don't believe. They said they have evidence of him on campus. And these are the things that Andrew is using. He's saying he believes what they're saying as evidence. And Candace is saying she does not believe what they're saying as evidence. I wonder if you get what I say. And that is why I feel like Andrew didn't do a good job debunking Candace. He only came to just try to humiliate her because he think he could. And he just came because he's trying to prove some point for Turning Point USA. Because these questions asked weren't, it just seemed scripted, it seemed deliberate, and he even tell on himself. He said, you'd be surprised what or how they were willing to open up. I have this big debate coming. It might be a debate of the century or whatever it is. So I reach out and I ask them if they have anything that they would want me to, share. Of course, they're going to give you detail. Yo, ask her this. Ask her this. Ask her that. Oh, Candace said this. She was wrong. Like, she's going to get things wrong. It's an investigation. It's an open investigation that she's doing. And here's another thing that annoys me. As a journalist, bro, you are allowed to keep some source confident. Candace says she got information about the foreign allegiance. She was like, I gave it to the necessary people and they didn't look into it. He was like, how do you know they didn't do one? Did you tell them where it's from? Oh, anonymous person. Bro, you don't seem like you want to reason rational. You only want to reason from a standpoint of, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Don't ask those type of questions. And that's what irritates me with his behavior when it comes on to that part. If you're a journalist, you got information. How do you expect people to trust you if every time you get a source, you reveal it to the public and tell them this is it? No, she probed it. She built a platform where they trust her. And she now gained that trust. So when she says she gets it from a reliable source, the audience, we're going to believe. And Candace know that she's prone to be sued. And I believe one of the main reasons why Andrew come and ask these questions and try to get certain answer out of Candace is because he's setting her up to be sued. They want her to say some things on camera so they can file a lawsuit because they still haven't successfully done what they have trying to do for so many years. Not only that, Candace has a next segment, but he's waiting on it to start up with the whole Emmanuel Macron and all of that stuff. But we don't want to change topic yet. I do believe the way he asks his questions and force her to answer certain things and try to put words in her mouth, I believe he was just only trained to ask these questions because he might not know. Allegedly, let me put that in, they're trying to set her up for a lawsuit. And yo, that's funny. That's funny. That's funny. But for the most part, let me take this up and see what's going on right here. Because at the end of the day, guys, Andrew's strongest point is this, right? His strongest point is that Candace has not proven any of her conclusions. Candace's point is Andrew is incapable of answering every challenges and he doesn't establish an official account of what is wrong. So, Andrew may have demonstrated that Candace haven't proven her theory. I am not convinced that means he's debunked the question. He has debunked the questions. I am not. And to be honest, do you actually think Andrew debunked Candace? Or do you think he simply showed that the court showed Candace hasn't proven her case yet? I mean, after watching this debate, do you have confidence in the official case? Or do you have more like, you know what, give Candace some time, there are more evidence going to come out for these questions? I believe that based on what I've seen about the case, something is not right. And I believe that Candace is on the right path. And I think Charlie is proud of her for probing it, asking the question, and doing what she's doing. The attacks on Erica, she setting herself up in some way, some shape or form. We're going to follow this case as Candace continue does what she does. And we're going to see what the court says. And we're going to go from there. Tell me what you think. What are your thoughts on this?